Let's get into Bora. I just had to say that. But y'all, human hair is definitely the way to go. You definitely want 100% human hair. This hair I got from Ywigs. It's the deep wave 20-inch human hair, and it comes in bulk. So today we'll be doing a tutorial on how to install your own Bora Bora braids. If you're a DIY girly like myself, go ahead and stick around, hit subscribe, hit like, so you can see more of me in the future. And y'all, look how I can just run my fingers through it. Like, what? Yeah, I love it. So let's get into how I got the bulk hair onto the rack. So you want to get whatever edge control or braiding gel that you're using while braiding your hair and getting the perimeter of that braid intact. And you want to take a little bit like this, not too much. Put it at the tip here to solidify the tip, and it makes it easier to feed in. And then just hang it on the loop at a curl point, so that way it's not like just stuck there, you know what I mean? So let's reiterate the step we just went through. Take your braid gel, put that at the perimeter where the bulk, like where it is cut, and you're gonna loop that onto your braiding rack or whatever you're using. I'm gonna speed this up just so y'all can see the process. I really didn't use a lot, but enough to secure the piece and hook it and understand that there's division there. It's so much easier to feed in your hair when you do it like this. Give it a try and let me know what y'all think. Here we go. I got a piece here. Broke off my little square. Get my briccolator in. Look it up if you don't know what it is. It's definitely something you need to know if you're braiding your own hair, or your kids' hair, your cousins' hair, your aunts. It don't matter. Now I really focus on putting the cream on my ends because they need the most attention. And now we're going in with the braiding gel. This braiding gel, hold on, I'm gonna tell y'all what it is. And I like to put this around my perimeter, so I do not put it on my scalp because I prefer for my scalp to be less irritated. All right, this is how you are going to do your Bora Bora braids. Go ahead and separate your hair into 3 as if you're going to plait it. And this is where you feed in the first piece of human hair. I prefer for this to be like a medium size. And then push it up out the way. Braid or plait. And now I add synthetic braiding hair. And you're gonna loop that right here. And then you're gonna do another one. Now we can start adding more human hair. And I always feed it in typically from the middle. Okay, so we're gonna reiterate the next step and come back to the following step. I'm gonna do a recap with you all. But what I like to do is when I'm braiding overhanded, I sit down and flip the braid so I can continue to braid down easily. It's the same concept, it's just less wear and tear on my arms because y'all know the reps are so serious when you do your own hair. So those little prickly pieces, y'all don't worry about that. I'm going to cut that off at the end. I just pointed to where we add in the hair when you're doing it underhanded. Once again, I typically feed in the middle, pull that piece upward and out the way. Now some people use a comb to catch the hair. Some people may clip it, some people put it in their mouth. It's really whatever you prefer. I love how easy it was to separate this human hair as well as feed it into my hair and apply products. So once again, Ywigs, thank you. Check out the caption below if you're interested And this hair, great quality, and you all are seeing it for yourself. 20-inch deep wave. It's a natural color. Absolutely love it. I braided that all the way down until it got super skinny, and let me show you how I tie my knots. So I take the skinniest, longest piece available, even if I have to create it. Typically it's going to be 1 out of 3. Loop it around and tie it in a knot just like you would if you were to be sewing or tying a shoe to a certain format. Let's go back and address these pricklies. One thing I did learn about Bora Bora braids, if you want a really full look, you want to have at least from 10 to 15 Bora or boho pieces hanging out. So we clipped off those prickly pieces that may occur when you're feeding in the hair and not fully jamming it all the way down. When I say jam, I mean braiding gel, y'all. Let's get into the recap. So what I want to do first is recap the cadence I have with these braids. I always start off in the same fashion. I start off with 3 sections to begin plaiting and feeding in the hair. The first thing I pull inward is where I feed in that initial piece, which I think makes a big difference when you're wearing Bora Bora braids. Slide that to the side. I go ahead and braid one more time. Now I'm adding in the synthetic braiding hair. Note to you all, feed in the least amount of synthetic braiding hair you can. I'm doing this for the length that I'm looking for, but as you can see, that piece is really thin. My hair is already thick. I have high density hair, so I don't need to fit in a lot. But if you have thinner hair, I would say, you know, go to the standard of how big you want your braids. We feed in a second piece, and that is it. From here on out, it's nothing but the 100% human hair being feeded in, as well as taken out to give that Bora or boho effect, whichever you prefer to call it. I'm going to braid this all the way down after I finish feeding it in. I didn't have a cadence as far as counting, like, okay, braid 1, 2, 3, add piece. It was really based off of what I was visually seeing in the mirror and how full I wanted to look, as well as measuring out using only 3 bundles, making sure I was able to use the hair and spread it out in a way that gave me the full look that I was looking for. I'm going to go ahead and flip over this braid, and I'm going to show you all a close-up of how I feed in the hair underhanded braiding now. Okay, back to it. Remember, I always feed in the middle. Sometimes I did feed in from the outside, because when you have the boho pieces coming out from opposite sides, it gives you a fuller look, and it just really makes the braid look very whimsical. When you do it from the same side, you get the same effect, but the fullness tends to fall in one area. So I would highly suggest just going with the flow. I learned as I go with this style. That's why the front, probably to me, it looks the best. But once you feed it in, you're going to continue to plait down. Like I said, I just visually mapped this out. There was no cadence to it. I'm probably going to feed in right here. It's given right there. I knew it. So go ahead and feed that into the middle. Pull it upward out of your way. Now this piece is a little long, but sometimes you need that length to balance things out and also contribute to the density of your 3 strands, especially if you want to keep it uniform going all the way down. Coming up, I'm going to show you all the finished look and tell you what I loved about this process. I'm just going to tell you 3 things I love about Ywigs. I love the length of the hair, 20 inches. This is giving more than 20 inches because I fed in the Bora Bora pieces like all the way down. What I also love is how easy it was to work products through the hair. My hair doesn't feel weighed down with products. I didn't have to use a lot. So I am using a paddle brush to brush through, and as you can see that, but there's not really a lot of shedding, and that's one thing that I really like about this hair as well. It doesn't shed much, which means I'm going to be able to maintain the fullness and the maintenance is going to be simple, which we all love. The next time you think about getting boho braids, Bora Bora braids, tree braids, feed and braid straight back with the boho pieces, I would definitely suggest looking at Ywigs. Yeah, like look at the quality. It's giving. Okay. Thank you all for tuning in. Go ahead and hit subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Hit the like button if you feel like I taught you something, and I will catch you guys later.